This is Great Chefs of France, featuring some of the country's top artisans from Rouen to Lyon, from Paris to Cannes. Welcome to a culinary tour of some of the world's preeminent dining destinations. This time from Vienne, Patrick Henriot. From Mougins, Roger Verger. And from Les Bizards, François Rudolph.
Fernand Point, who owned the famous Pyramid restaurant in Vienne, said that without quality fresh product, you're licked from the start. That philosophy is still operable under Patrick Henriot. Over his 20-year career, he has worked all over France in restaurants that, without exception, were Michelin-starred. Here is his pumpkin soup with foie gras.
Démarrer cette recette, nous avons donc creusé le potimarron.
The chef begins by describing the ingredients for the soup. To quote directly, "We've emptied the pumpkin. We took out all the seeds. We're going to use this to serve the soup in. We chopped the leeks and garlic. We cut up the squash and we've chopped up the lard. The onions are chopped up and another type of squash." In a saucepan with butter, the chef softens the leeks and then puts in some diced pork belly, which he called lard.
Le lard, qui va nous donner un petit goût de fumée dans la soupe.
The sliced onions are added.
Alors tout ça, on va bien le faire suer.
This is cooked until the leeks and onions have softened but not browned. The chef adds a little salt to the mixture. He says there's no pepper in the soup. Then the cubed pumpkin meat is added.
Ensuite, on va ajouter les dés de la courge. Donc on va faire suer tout ça sans coloration.
The purpose here is not to caramelize the vegetables, but to absorb all their liquid. Then a bouquet garni of thyme, bay leaf, and parsley stems is added, followed by chicken stock.
Alors, une fois que tous ces légumes sont étuvés, on va pouvoir ajouter le bouillon de volaille.
This is brought to a boil, then simmered for 30 minutes. Meanwhile, the pumpkin shell is set aside on the edge of the stove to slightly warm. The chef slices sticks of foie gras, which will accompany the soup.
Donc on va les tailler en grosses frites.
He says cut them like thick French
On peut aussi
fries.
bien les tailler en forme de frites, mais on peut les tailler en petits cubes. On a absolument le choix sur la forme. Hein.
The chef seasons the sticks, then employs a coating called a tri-method system, using flour, then beaten egg, and fine breadcrumbs.
De poivre. Comme pour préparer ce que l'on appelle en France une anglaise, c'est-à-dire d'abord on va passer les tranches de foie gras dans la farine. Un petit peu comme Ensuite, on va les tremper dans l'œuf. Une fois qu'on est là, on les passe dans la chapelure pour les rouler.
The coated foie gras is deep fried at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. For presentation, 4 sticks are served. Meanwhile, the vegetables and liquid went into a blender and then strained. The thickness of the soup comes from the starch exuded from the pumpkin.
De la courge, hein. Donc, comme ça a un caractère quand même légèrement pas farineux parce qu'on a un petit goût de châtaigne avec le potimarron.
The soup will be garnished with a dollop of whipped cream, seasoned with salt, pepper, and roasted cumin powder.
Un petit peu de poudre de cumin torréfié.
Sea salt and whole peppercorns serve as a base for the pumpkin in presentation.
Voilà, donc notre potimarron est légèrement tiède. Je vais pouvoir verser dedans. Et là, donc de chaque côté, je vais pouvoir mettre mes chromesquis de foie gras. Un petit peu comme s'il s'agissait pour un petit déjeuner un peu comme les mouillettes dans un œuf, et on mange comme ça.
Roger Verger's far-flung culinary empire includes writing a half-dozen cookbooks, creation of a product line of jams, teas, Provence herbs, and a huge wine and spirit cellar. But his restaurant, Moulin de Mougin, is the seat of his fame and a crown jewel. Here's ballotine of chicken with tapenade.
Bon, first we are going to start to preparing the sauce for the sauce we serve for the coulis to serve with the chicken. First, I add approximately 2 soup spoon of olive oil, and about the quarter of 1 onions. It's always for 1 person. Okay, and cut the tomato into small pieces. Leave all the seeds, everything inside. Because with the seed you have also the humidity of the tomato has to be very ripe, and we can prepare some garlics, about half of clove of garlic. We also have some tomato paste. We use tomato paste if you are on the winter, you have no very ripe tomato. Maybe not today because tomatoes are very ripe. The onions to make it very soft. So we can prepare the chicken. We take the breast of the chicken with a sharp knife. We cut it to take off the wing We only need the wing of the chicken. Here, take off the skin. Ça va les oignons? Take off the skin. That. You can use the bones to make a consommé or sauce, as you like. Here we have the breast of the chicken. We take off the inside, the fillet, like that. Take off the nerves.
The breast is flattened using plastic wrap.
Leave the chicken for the moment. Bring back, add the tomatoes and the garlic. Add some salt. And cook it very slowly. Tu réduis un petit peu ça. With a cover on the top. I add some thyme. You have the onions, the tomato, the garlic, olive oil, and the thyme. And leave it to cook here. You know, the same size. Yes, for the breast of chicken, you know, we cut it like that by half. Ok. On va enlever le nerf. Take off the nerves here. It's going to be tough, you know, when you cook it with. With some water. To don't, like that, the meat don't stick to the paper. Just a little bit move. That you have the breast cut by half with a little bit of salt. Make it flat. Okay.
The filet is used in a mousse mixture that also includes bread cubes.
And you have a piece of one slice of bread, the fillet of the chicken. Ça c'est du lait, ça. Fine. The fillet of the chicken and the piece of bread. It's about the equal quantity. Okay. I dip the bread into the milk, cold milk, and when it's dipped, I can take off of the milk, and we have here the bread, the chicken. You have to salt it before to mix it with the blender. The first thing, you know, is to salt the meat. It can be chicken, veal, or can be fish. You can make the same thing with the fish too. Here.
This chicken mousse will be used in two ways. First, with fresh herbs added as a filling for the breast. Then the remainder will be mixed with the black olive tapenade, presented almost as a side dish.
Okay, you have a perfect pass here. Now, attends, je vais rajouter un peu de. Going to add some nutmeg. You can use a smaller one. And now we have a fresh cream. It's a whipping cream. And I mix it with a part of the chicken mousse. I made it now on the mixer.
Black olive puree is mixed with the remainder of the mousse.
I leave it on the paper because make it easy, and turn it into the paper. Okay? Now I just close it. You can see, before I salted the chicken. Okay, turn it.
A roulade is formed with the olive mixture.
Make it another roll. That is only the chicken mousse with the olives puree. Okay.
Both roulades are steamed. Meanwhile, the tomato, onions, and garlic, which were cooking, are blended.
Mais comme ça, on aura la même couleur. Okay. I use a ladle to pass through. Like that, I have also the flesh of the tomato and all the thickness. Okay. About 1 spoon of butter into the hot sauce. Il faudrait peut-être me chauffer la sauce un petit peu.
C'est bon, ça marche.
And use a whisk.
Butter finishes the sauce.
Okay, going to push it.
The roulades are sliced for presentation.
You see how it's nice and very tasty because you have all the herbs. Cook on the chicken. Fine. The tomato sauce. On va faire même un petit peu.
A small zucchini fan garnishes.
You can arrange differently or like that. And I finish with some olive oil to make it shiny. Oui, enfin, un petit peu mettre une feuille. Just for the finishing. Some basil.
Dessert is done at Auberge des Templiers in France. The executive chef at taping time was Francois Rodolphe in the foreground. The pastry chef, Philippe Moyvan, is behind him. They work more or less in tandem in preparing this dish. Roasted peach in caramel and red fruit syrup with hawthorn-flavored ice cream. The peaches are poached in simple syrup to begin the dish. After poaching, the skin is removed and it will be cooked some more in a red fruit juice. After cooking in the juice, the peach will be basted in a red fruit caramel. Wild strawberries, raspberries, and gooseberries were cooked slowly in butter and sugar, which is then strained and used as a baste for the peaches. This is the strained red fruit caramel.
Faites-vous passer la glace. Alors, on nappe les fruits. Et ajoute un petit peu de
The chef adds a little bit of cracked pepper to the cooking peaches. He says he likes the sharp flavor that it adds.
poivré, sucré, légèrement iodé par le beurre de micelle.
As the peaches are continually basted, the remaining red fruit caramel is strained and fresh berries are added. This will be the sauce and garnish for the final presentation.
On a quoi? Vous les poivrez les fruits là, vous?
Pepper and balsamic vinegar are added.
Un tout petit peu de vinaigre balsamique.
Chef Moyvan begins presentation. A vanilla bean which was cooked in the syrup is added. Pulled sugar completes presentation.